Hey loves, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today we will be talking about how I potty trained my speech delayed son. If you're new around here, my name is Valerie, also known as Tara Bless. I make lifestyle videos, motherhood, motivation, and many more. So I'd definitely love for you to stick around. If you like what you see, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Alright, so without further ado, I'm going to share with you guys how I potty trained my 3-year-old toddler who has speech delay. So I hope that you will find this video useful if you do have a child who has a speech delay. So just a little bit of background. If you're not a loyal subscriber of mine, I had 3 children, 16, 9 and 3. So I potty trained my daughter, which is my eldest, when she was fully potty trained by the age of 2. She was very, very quick. My second born was potty trained around two and a few months. And with Zane, who's my last born, he was fully potty trained by the age of 3 and I want to say a few months. He's currently 3.5 years old. So I'll be sharing with you our own experience, alongside I'll be giving you guys some tips as well to take away. So before you actually contemplate potty training your child, you need to actually make sure that they are ready. I'm sure you hear it all the time. It's very, very important. So there's lots of signs to look out for. So the signs include, are they uncomfortable with the nappy? In my case, my son used to pull off his nappy. Anytime he wanted to, do a wee or a poo, he would literally go and hide in another room or under the sofa. And also he used to follow us to the toilet. So anytime his siblings were in the toilet, he'll go in there. When I was going to the toilet, he'll follow me. If you got a child who is very verbal at that age, they might tell you that they're uncomfortable or they want to take it off. So there's lots of signs to look out for. Remember, every child is different and every child is ready at a different time. So never compare your children. I've got 3 children and they were already at different time. And another thing to note as well is to make sure that you don't just look out for just one sign. So if you see that your child follows you to the bathroom and is interested in going to the toilet, don't just think, okay, yeah, that's it. So you need to see multiple signs. Just wait until you keep seeing it repeatedly before you think, okay, this is the time to do it. After you see those signs and you feel like, okay, your child is ready to go ahead and be potty trained, the second part is to ensure that you prepare for that. Here's some of the things I did to prepare for Zane's potty training journey. I bought the potty itself, and I've also bought the potty seat. I bought some pants. So I think I bought about 20 or 24 pants. I know that sounds extreme, but because he goes to nursery, so I needed to make sure that there was lots, and it's important to make sure you've got loads. So I would say at least 12 pants, 24, the more the merrier, because they will have accidents. I bought one of those step ladders to help him get onto the toilet seat. And luckily for me, my sister had a potty training book from her last born, so we were reading that as well during night time to kind of prepare him for potty training. I know some people buy stickers and that type of thing, but I don't do that. I basically, once my child uses the toilet or uses the potty, then I give him a high five. So that's what they get. Because I personally feel like if you're going to reward your child with stickers or a lolly or whatever it may be, not that I'm against it, don't get me wrong, if you do that then that's fine, but for me personally, I feel like if you reward them in that way, it means that you always have to do it. So every single time they use the toilet, you're gonna have to give them a lolly, you're gonna have to give them a sticker, so for me personally, I just want it to be a natural thing that they know that is a natural event of life. And yeah, so I just give him a high five, really praise him, and I really make a big deal out of it. Yeah, so that's what I do. Just in regards to the potty and the potty seat, for my other 2 children, I only use the potty. So when I train them on the potty, and then I move them up onto the potty seat in the toilet. However, because Zane goes to nursery, and when I discussed the potty training with the nursery, they said that they normally skip that step. They just take them straight onto the toilet seat. And I thought, okay, that's actually, I've never done that before. And I thought that's actually a good idea, because that way you skip the the potty, G-swabs a step, you just go straight onto the toilet. So it's just one step you do. So that's what we ended up doing. Also, I think it causes less confusion as well. Once I had all our potty training gear, so like I said, we read potty training books. So we have the Elmo potty training book that my sister gave me. I'll probably find a picture of it because I can't remember the title. So we'll read that at bedtime just to kind of get that in his, you know, just to get him used to the idea of potty training and what it was. And when he would follow me to the toilet, I would let him follow me, and I would explain to him that this is what big boys do. Big boys use the toilet, and when his sibling would go to the toilet, you know, I would beg my son to just let him follow him, so that he can see that that's what we do in the toilet. Also, we will watch, I'll let him watch YouTube videos about potty training. You know, there were potty training songs. So basically, everything around the house was all about potty training. So I was kind of, so we worked on kind of introducing that in different aspects. And we would also do role plays with his teddy bears as well, and explain and pretend that the teddy bear was actually weighing on the potty. Taking those necessary steps and actually including these different ways of learning about potty training into our lives, I feel that made it easier for Zane to kind of grasp that prospect of potty training. So another tip is to pick a week during, so pick a week where, you know, you're at home. If you're a working mom, pick you know, choose a few days where you can take off, or a week possibly if you can, where you can take off and literally just be at home without going anywhere. No errands or anything, just being at home and really work on potty training your child. And that's exactly what I did. So initially, when we started, I felt like Zane was ready. He was showing some of the signs, but looking back, he was not fully ready. That was before he was 3. I think it was about maybe 2.5. I was not really being consistent, so I think I took about maybe 3 days off, but I was not really consistent. And with the potty training, and so that's my tip. Make sure you're consistent, make sure you're at home, because there'll be times where, you know, he will be wearing pants, and then, you know, my husband, when he was at home, he would then put nappies on him, and it was just, it was a hot mess. So that did not work out. All right, so don't be like me. Make sure they're fully ready, and then when you are ready to potty train them, make sure that you're at home for a few days, okay, and you're not going anywhere. Don't run any errands, just be at home fully. I tend to potty train my kids in the summer months. All my children actually are all born in winter, but I tend to potty train them in the summer months, so that way, you know, they don't have to wear any clothes, well, they wear less clothing. In my kids hate wearing clothes, so especially when they're toddlers. So I will let my son run around in his pants, or sometimes he's just meant to run around naked. But anyway, it's totally up to you. So it's much easier to potty train them in spring or summer, where they don't have to wear that many layers of clothes. So when they need to go, is literally they're just only wearing pants and they just pull it down, or you help them pull it down straight and they do their business. Like I mentioned earlier, the key is just be consistent. Don't give up. It is going to feel a bit frustrating. The kids are going to have accidents, but you have to stay consistent. And if your child goes to nursery, make sure you're on the same page as the nursery. Make sure that they apply whatever you're doing at home there, and vice versa. My last tip is to give the kids lots and lots of praise. If you believe in giving incentives like sweets or stickers, so be it, do that. We've saying it did take longer for him to grasp it, and I felt like because of his speech, because obviously he cannot articulate, so we did have lots of accidents during the process of potty training. You know, he would literally wet himself. He wouldn't say when he wanted to go. Sometimes you can see him squeezing himself. He'd be squeezing his legs in the corner, and when you say, do you want to go to, do you want to wee, he wouldn't respond, because that's one of the things you get with speech delayed children, because obviously they can't articulate their needs, and sometimes they don't even respond to you. In Zane's case, he wouldn't even respond to you, but you can tell by his body language that he needed to go to the toilet. So so what I would do, I would, like, every 10 to 15 minutes I would take him to the toilet and say, you know, I want to wee wee, I would just say to him so that he can learn to say himself, I want to wee wee. And I'll put him on the toilet seat and really be patient. I'll sit there. Sometimes I'll actually, I know it's bad, but I will actually give him the iPad so he can sit on there much longer. A bonus tip: if you're sure that your child wants to eat but is protesting using the toilet and doesn't want to actually do it in the toilet, a hack that I normally do is when I would put Zayn on the toilet seat and I know he wanted to wee and he didn't want to wee, he didn't actually want to do it in the toilet, I will open the tap. So the running water, it has some type of psychological effect to our brain. So when you hear running water, you automatically, like if you're in the toilet or something, you want to wee. So that's what I used to do. So you can thank me later. Right now, Zayn is fully potty trained. As I said, he's 3.5. He's fully potty trained. And another amazing thing I would say with children that will really surprise you, although Zayn was potty trained later than his siblings, I didn't have to put a nappy on him at night time. And that was so shocking because I remember every single night he would just be dry. So the trick was I would make sure that before I take him to bed, I would make sure he wheezes. I will limit the amount of fluid he would have, you know, an hour before bedtime. Make sure he wheezes properly, and then bed. So his nappy was always dry. But I always used to put a nappy on him because I was so paranoid that one day we'll have an accident. But it always, till this day, it always remains dry. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed my tips and tricks, and I hope you find it useful. So as I said, it's not that much different to potty training a child without speech delay, but the difference with a child with speech delay is that it may take a bit longer because obviously the speech is not there, they cannot articulate their needs, or sometimes the understanding is not quite there. But in my own experience with Zayn, once he grasped it, that was it. He was like, you know, so now what he does, he would, if he wants to wee, he would say wee wee, and sometimes when he's really lazy, he would just pull my hand and drag me there, and I would say, you want to wee wee, Zayn? Okay, let's wee. Or sometimes I'll see him when he's really been lazy and he doesn't want to leave what he's doing, because that's another thing toddlers tend to do when they're so focused on what they're doing, or they're enjoying a certain toy or program. They want to wee, but they don't want to go. So I always keep my eye out. So when I see those signs, I'll take him straight to wee. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. Please do comment below and share some of your tips that you've used for your toddlers, and I will see you in my next one.